Arlene, you want to talk about yours, the Empire
So-
Ranch Festival?
So this was done 4 years ago, and it was Cowboy Festival at Empire Ridge.
Nice job.
Nice.
Said that was from 4 years ago?
And you didn't remake it? Wow, you were good even then. Yeah. Good music choices, good transition, other than the very last one of music to music, when you switched it. The very last one seemed to be stuck on there.
It's too abrupt.
Yeah, too abrupt, but all the ones within the video were great. I could have used a little more reading time. For some of them, yeah. Other people say, yeah, because it was interesting stuff that I put down there.
I kept waiting for the one of those still pictures to come alive within the frame.
Yeah. The photography is good. Nice.
Good job. Any other comments? Anyone out in Zoom land?
Good job.
Alrighty. So, Holly, you said yours was pretty long, right?
Well, yeah, just show some of that converted South Africa. This isn't a done video. Let me explain what this is, and then you can show a little bit of it, and I'll get some comments, I hope. This is currently a slideshow that was put together in many years ago. But the original photos were taken in 2001-2 on a trip to South Africa and Zimbabwe. And it was put together as a presentation, but there were 4 different cameras used for the photos. A freebie that I got from Nature Conservancy with plastic lens, and it only took some weird aspect ratio, I can't remember what. One of the very first digital cameras, a point and shoot, and a Canon AE1 program. So those were the cameras used. And the show originally was for students, for my students. I was principal at the time, to convey what I learned about South Africa. And it was about a half-hour show. So, and it was just a slideshow with me talking, although I do have the script that I used. So the question is, might this be worthwhile putting together as a video now? So just show.
So it's a slideshow now
Yeah,
without any music or,
well, I don't think so. I don't think it's put together. I can't even remember. Bill Rock put IBM, they were PC. It was a PC slideshow that my techie at school had made from the 4 different cameras and digitized them. They were all film cameras at the time. So the techie at school digitized them. Phil Rock put them together and oh no, he put it together as a PC slideshow, and then Phil converted it to a Mac. And that's where it's at. So I think there's no music, no sound at all, no narration.
share screen.
Good now.
Yeah. And one of my questions is, would I be able to change the pacing? If this, yeah, okay, it is a slideshow.
And there's no audio.
There's no audio yet. That, of course, I would put in the audio and
Well, you're here. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
You're on. Here you go.
No.
Mhm.
Well, okay, this is, yeah, it's, the whole point of the audio, the script was in South Africa. We
You cropped that one a little
visited,
too much.
say that what?
Said you cropped it a little bit too much, the black line.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I can change that now, but maybe I can I? That's what, I guess that's the kind of thing I'm asking. Can the pacing of this be changed to go with the audio? Is another question.
Do you have the originals?
No.
So this is it?
So this is what I have to work from.
What's the format? What are we seeing right now?
What are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, what,
It's a .mov
Yeah,
movie video.
so it is an MOV.
yeah,
Yeah, you could do anything, pull still frames, you can do whatever you want.
So she could completely rework this, and
Oh,
add
yeah.
narration,
Oh,
music,
easily.
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
could I get rid of the framing?
sure.
You just have to.
But, you know, you're gonna be heavily into Photoshop on this
Oh,
to do it right.
yeah.
Would you have to do screenshots for each of the pictures?
Say that again, Grace.
would you have to do screenshots for the pictures? So to take them out of there?
No, she can capture these as still frames without losing any quality and then reorganize it.
Using
I
Photoshop.
mean, you can do still frames in iMovie, I would assume, I don't know.
What, and I could change the pacing
Oh, yeah.
even without doing that, right?
Mm.
Yes,
Just split the clips.
Oh, if you want to cut this up, yeah, because you say this is an MOV file,
Right.
so you could work with it, yeah. But did you want to speed it up, slow it down? What did you want to do?
Well, it depends on the script. I want it to fit to the script. When I originally used this, basically I clicked to transition from one slide to the other. So it wasn't paced automatically.
I see.
It was,
Yeah, somehow you have to capture these stills in order to put them into a video file to edit them. But, you know, just capture them as still frames and they should hold up.
okay.
You can also expand them, zoom them, move them, you know, whatever,
Even sharpen them a little bit.
a little, yeah.
A little. But that's all a manual process, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one at a
Yeah,
time.
this is a lot of work.
These won't take much enlargement.
No, I
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
think
think so.
so. I didn't think so.
But you do not have the original
Oh, probably I do, Bill,
somewhere.
somewhere.
In a box.
Well, like I said, the originals were filmed. These were digitized.
They're in a box.
So
They're in a box in a closet. Box in a
you
closet.
can redigitize them.
Yeah,
Just have to remember.
you're talking about my life's work here.
This is a 5,000 hour project.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay. So that's enough of that.
Okay.
I guess anybody else have input on this process or possibility?
Lots of, yeah, lots and lots of.
So do you love them and love those memories?
Right.
Well, I love the story that was told.
Yeah.
And I find it useful in the whole, the name of this thing was Appreciation is the Key to Happiness. And the talk was about South Africa at the time, where the average lifespan was 47 years. And the AIDS epidemic was rampant and literacy was minimal.
Yeah.
And people were being educated by the trains that came through their area, which had dental offices on the train. And the dentists were responsible for educating people about AIDS. And that's why the lifespan was so short. And the schools, biggest problem in the schools at the time was they were losing teachers to AIDS, and they were losing students who were then taking care of their younger brothers and sisters when their older relatives were dying. So it was, and despite all this, people were hopeful and happy, and the Blacks, of course, were still pretty excited about apartheid having ended. And they, unlike Zimbabwe, which was a totally different story, in South Africa, they just wanted to be part of the success of the country. So that's where the appreciation of key to happiness was just so driven home by that trip. And that's why I want to tell that story to some other groups. It was already told for a few groups in New York, like, and every time I showed it, people wanted to hear it again. So that's why I want to do something with this again.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
However, the pictures, it might be difficult to tell the story visually with what you just told us.
Yeah, well, okay, I think then probably what would be the easiest way for me to take what I got there and put the script in as a narration? And then decide what I want to do with the photo part.
Well, when you write the script, you've got to decide what you want to do.
That's, okay.
And
well,
see
the
if you
script is
have
written.
anything that will visualize.
Okay,
Because I didn't really see there anything that would tell the story that you've just, a great story that you've just related.
okay,
I mean, maybe.
yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, again, originally, okay, I'll work backwards from the script.
Yeah, there's, what you've done is you've done what I call a blender video. Take all the pictures and you throw them into a blender, turn on the switch, throw them on the screen. You write the script, start with the premise and start with the title.
Yeah,
Then then you can work with the images. And you may have a lot of other images I haven't seen. So I don't know.
There were about 25 minutes worth of more images.
So you may have.
yeah. But they're there, it's just, and they were coordinated with it when I.
But
gave
just
the
doing the
copy.
slideshow where you change one slide to the next slide or whatever without, as much as I hate to use this term, and because the guys,
I know,
but without movement of the images or even cutting them out and animating parts of them or whatever, it's going to be pretty boring. But the story itself is incredible.
okay, good, thank you for that inspiration.
Are there anybody alive that went with you or could tell a story that you could add the narration, like their viewpoint to it, to kind of give it some life?
Sound bites. Saying,
Yeah, no, actually, no. Yes, I hear your question, but the answer is no, they're not available, nobody's available.
they're all buried in New York. So
Right, oh, well, they were from all over the country, actually.
A couple of comments. Holly, those pictures are on an 8-second cycle. That's too long for stills to stay up. And so far as trying to get it to match your script, are you using the same script that you did 20 years ago?
Yes, that's the script I would use.
Here's an opportunity to put to work 20 years of experience in storytelling and tighten it up. I'm serious.
Yeah,
Susan and I never redo a film and keep it exactly the same. We always tighten it up and try to make it better. You can, what you want to do with the pictures themselves is extremely easy to do with just about any video program. I know I could do it in DaVinci. I don't know what you're using, but yeah, you can do that. But I would say tighten it up. If you've got 25 minutes of 8-second still photos, that really does need to be tightened up.
okay,
And there's my 2 cents.
okay,
yeah, in your editor, you could even use that video footage. You didn't have to still frame them. Okay, 8 seconds. I didn't realize that's what it was, but that's about right. You could actually use that video to edit your second video.
okay, yep, all right, I've got my work cut out for me, thank you very much.
We'll see you in September.
Yeah, see me in September, October, probably.
How about you? How about you telling the story about you on the camera? And you're going through it, and then you just take some of those pictures out there to highlight what you're talking about.
Well, you're gonna do it through your eyes anyway,
Yeah,
right?
right, oh, I see what you're saying,
So
Yeah, I
sort of like
could do that.
interview yourself.
right. Yep, I could do that. I might, I've got plenty of ideas now, I have my work cut out for me, for sure.
So did you want to do this? It's okay screen?
Yeah, that's a 10-minute one, which again, you might not want to see it all, as most of you here in Zoomy probably know, I wrote this book that has kind of taken off. It's taken on a life. A lot of people have bought it, like 130 or so. And I've been asked to teach a class about the contents, kind of, in at a SOAR group in New York, which is May 11th. So this one I don't have a lot of time to change, but the class is an hour and a half. So my question is, do I want to use this video as part of it? And this definitely will be remade. Anyway, but okay, so show that and I'll brace myself.
Would you like to know how the book It's Okay, Scream in the Shower came to be written? Meet Holly Corba, author and photographer of It's Okay, Scream in the Shower. You'll hear her talking to her book club. Holly explains how she came to pay it forward to those dealing with grief through this recent release. This book really took me over 3 years to write this book. And I always have written, like I always wrote journals off and on since I was 7 years old, and my family went to Florida. And my father told me to write a journal of the trip. And I've always taken pictures since I was in high school, especially when my son was young, of course. Yeah. But when Ron passed away, I kind of stopped both of those things for a little while. But what really inspired me to write was the preface, which is by Linda Sparks. Yeah. Linda Sparks called me up maybe 2 days after Ron passed away. And Linda lives at La Posada with you guys. Mm-hmm. And I knew her from Camera Club, but not real well. And she said, Holly, I'm sorry, I heard your husband passed away. And I said, yes. And she says, well, my husband died 8 years ago, which I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know she'd even been married.
Right. And she said, after he passed away, there was a lot of things that I wished I had known. And I wrote them all down. And I put them in an email to Linda Gregory, among other people, and sent them to her when Dave passed. And she said, people I've sent them to have found them very helpful. Do you want me to send it to you? Bless you. So I said, yeah, sure, please. And it was that preface that says, okay, so hubby's dead. Here's what you need to do. It saved my life. And I emailed that to probably 6 or so friends.
All of us.
Yeah, I sent them all. I sent the preface to all of you. Right. And some other friends I had who were older, and you never know when these things are going to happen, but it's more likely then. And then I started reading just because I wanted to put my head somewhere, and of course it was on dying and grief and stuff, and I started reading. I have a collection of probably 50 books that I read during that first few months, and writing a little bit later on, but kind of stopped taking pictures for quite a while. And then one of my friends passed away back in New York, and his wife was a friend of mine, and I was trying to support her long distance, and I would send her little texts every day with photographs. And she responded to those. And so after a while, I got back to New York, and I was telling her I was going to write a book. And she said, oh, you're going to include your photos, aren't you? And I hadn't planned on including the photos. And she said, you've got to include your photos. So I thought, well, okay, maybe I will. So I asked her, which photos she had found kind of spoke.
I don't know what happened to the sound on this. This was a recording of actually talking to my book club about the book. And obviously this would have to be fixed, but this is about Day of the Dead. And I guess that's probably enough for people to give me some comments on it. If that would be a reasonable introduction to this class when the people won't have the book. Actually, one of them's asked for it, but
you could sell it.
some. Oh, yeah, I
At the
do. I
lecture.
do. Actually, and I'll have it there and it's there available at cost. But
To her, and
I wish that stuff like that.
she's into numerology a bit too, so she talked to me about
Audio behind that originally?
No, it's just.
threes and fours and dozens and
But I
that-
fix that easy enough.
it kind of helped me organize the book, because when I had been writing, I was just sort of writing journal style. And when I decided I wanted to share this with other people in a way that would be helpful to them, I had to reorganize. So the way the book is organized now, I don't know, it's pretty unusual, I think, to have 2 tables of contents. But that's what I have, like the overall look at it, and then in each of the 3 phases, you see there's 4 parts that deal with physical and emotional being and communicating and relating and spiritual solace and evolution and practice. So for people who are have dealt with loss, which probably almost everybody has, they can turn to a section that's kind of where they're at now, because everybody's different. For some people, it might take years, years to just get through phase 1. And for other people, they might be like on phase 3 without ever having experienced a major loss, because phase 3 is pretty much just getting on with life, being your own person. But I had several people help me as far as editing. I have a couple retired English teacher friends who went through it. And then I was so lucky. One of my friends had published a book about her mom. When her mom passed away, she decided to write a book for her grandkids on her mother's role in the French resistance during World War II. And so I asked her about, well, how did you get your book published? And she connected me with a woman who had been a publisher, a small publishing company of 2 women, The Right Stuff it was called, and one of them, no, Right Plus, I think. Anyway, one of them had retired, both of them had retired. And, but she I met up with, and she was such a big help to me. She's the one who found the printer for this.
This is, I like the way it was done with the spiral and the back though and everything, so easy to flip and.
Yeah, well, thank you. The whole point, I told her I wanted 7 by 10, which is not easy to find in printers. I wanted it about the size of a National Geographic, because it's easy to pick up and hold and carry, and yet it's big enough to show the photos reasonably. So I wanted it that size. I wanted spiral binding because I would have places in here to write, and you needed to lay flat for that. And also the photos are better. If you're going to do the meditation stuff, it's better to just open it and be able to lay it flat and do that. So I needed that, and I needed a company that would mix color pages with black and white, and the print would come out reasonably good.
Oh, no, that's a lot of consideration.
Yeah.
I know Stephanie's written books, and she's but regular,
Yeah. Well,
But she had gone through this one, even just what to put on the cover.
Right.
That was a long, ordeal on some things.
right. I found out when you deal with self-publishing, one of the questions you'll probably get asked is, do you want to design your own cover or hire somebody? And I had come up with the title, It's Okay, Scream in the Shower, because I'd been talking to a friend of mine who also lost her husband about 6 months after I lost mine. And she was really upset, and she was telling me about how you just get so emotional and your intellect kind of goes out the window for months, but you just get so emotional. And I said, yeah, it helps to get that out. Like I just scream in the shower. So it's okay, scream in the shower or wherever. And she said, yeah, I think I'll try that in the car. So that's what she did.
Busy parking lot.
No. No, but that's where the title came from. And then I just decided at some point to take a picture of myself screaming in the shower. So that's that's me.
You are kidding.
No, that's me. And then I wanted to make it a little abstract, you know. So I edited it, and I thought, no, I'm going to design my own cover. I want to do that. So I did.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Writing pictures, cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that never.
Are you facing the death of your spouse or searching for ways to help a friend whose partner has passed away? Are you the executor of an estate? Do you not know where to start, not even know how one can survive such grief? The Atlas of Guideposts in It's Okay, Scream in the Shower provides paths leading from pervasive grieving to calm surviving to actually thriving while still carrying grief. Read what needs to be taken care of immediately, then consider the various routes that can guide a journey toward a gratifying life after loss. Copies of It's Okay, Scream in the Shower retail for $23.95, or discounts are available at book signings in person. To purchase a copy online, pay via PayPal or contact Holly at hollycorbett@gmail.com and arrange to send your check. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the present and live your life with love.
That was interesting. You know, so were you looking at putting this together as a video?
I was
Maybe have a
looking at
show.
putting it and using it as part of this class. And modified or not, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's, I'm looking for comments from you as all of you, as to whether it's, I mean, the people there know what the class is about.
Mhm.
It's a class to give you tools for dealing with grief or for helping somebody who is. And some of it'll be workshop form, yeah, just because it's so long to listen. But
I think one of the things that I would try to do was I thought it was a little bit choppy at parts.
Yeah.
To make it a little smoother. Also, the audio level. I thought there were times, especially at the beginning, and I looked at the time, it was around the 2-minute mark, where your audio level dropped from
Mhm.
one sentence to another, you know,
yeah,
when you change and everything. So
I should be able to
try
try
to,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Ollie, I wouldn't show this film. It's just rambling. I wouldn't show it to the audience, but it's a great basis for a slideshow and for your presentation. So I would use it as notes for the presentation that you're going to do and use some of the images in a slideshow to show them. But the pieces are just all over the sky. And you can organize this, you know how to do it
Yeah,
in a more coherent lecture based and use these pictures up on the screen for however long you want to sustain them and use the pictures to kind of lead you through the lecture.
yeah, I was thinking about that, using it like, as, you know, where you can.
Well, I mean, it's
see how
basically, it's a
different-
PowerPoint.
Like, yeah, which is PowerPoint, same thing, okay.
So
Yeah,
just, it is, I think that people would get the basic idea,
Yeah.
but they would kind of
you
drift.
split it up, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. Others,
Think of it as a green screen background for you while you're giving the lecture. There you go.
uh-huh,
But no, not just showing it by itself as a piece of your lecture. I agree with Phil completely on that. But
Yeah.
here's where you don't have to stick to, short photos on the screen. It's a totally different format. You're giving a lecture. So yeah, leave it up there as long as you need it to be there. And it's something for them to look at other than, you while they
Right.
listen to you.
Well, and parts of it, I do intend to do more like a workshop. So that would also lend itself to do that. I have something up there and have them doing an activity. Okay, good. Thanks, Brian.
All right, great. All right, well, we have a couple short videos here to show. The first one I'm going to show, there's one for me and one from John. John asked us to be last, so we'll do that. So this is one I did at the air show that took place 2 weekends ago. I had originally sent this to Kevin, thinking that he was thinking of being here, and there was he made a comment in it, and then he said, well, he's curious to see how our group, if anyone else picks up what he saw in the video. So
So this is a test.
challenge.
it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
I don't check that.
I love the music. Todd,
Yes.
two things. One, those, did he pick up on no natural sound?
No, he didn't mention that.
Okay. The other thing is, those aren't pilots.
No. Yeah,
Those are enlisted people.
they're crew members.
They're crew members.
Okay. They were going around, I mean, I didn't get that, I had my telephoto lens when I did that, but they were walking around there.
Yeah, they're all enlisted guys. with
All
stripes.
listed guys.
Okay.
Yeah, so they don't fly, well, they fly as a passenger or a crew member, but not a pilot. So
I could change that.
that's
I
something-
got two things, Todd. First, put a black outline on your lettering so that it shows up against light backgrounds. And towards the end, there's one slide where it says US Air Force. Air Force is 2 words, not the one that you've got on the slide, and you capitalize the branch of the service.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, the one that opens up, the nose opening aircraft is a C5.
And that's not.
C5 Galaxy,
not
not
a
a C-17.
17.
Yeah. Other than that,
You're, pay attention to your audience, right?
We're playing John today.
But I'm envious because I missed the air show, so it's like,
Yeah,
you
so
gotta take it in. It's good.
Todd, with some of your images, you had a picture with a video imposed underneath it.
Yes.
And they were showing straight through. How did you do that?
Just with the opacity. So I stacked so like with the one with the Black Hawk helicopters and everything, I got a shot of a dad with a young boy behind the machine gun there, so that was in the background. And then just adjust the opacity of the other one.
So it was one of those, okay, where you were using the opacity, one of them didn't transition well.
Okay, that's what Kevin picked up.
Okay.
Yeah, that mixed it. But the photography was very good. Stuff
Yeah.
steady. It's not the usual air show
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
stuff. And I didn't know 33s even.
Which ones?
The 33s. That's amazing.
Also, I should have got hazardous duty pay because when I was walking on filming, there was some uneven ground and I went and took a tumble.
Oh.
Scraped up this.
Didn't hurt your camera.
No, I know. I started falling.
Body between the camera and the ground.
So you were filming at the time, so why'd you delete that action shot?
I thought about putting that in, seeing that everything tumble around and everything.
What was your reasoning for the amount of still versus amount of video moving? Because the whole show is motion, it's moving and kind of, but you.
Well, except for all the planes that are just sitting on the ground
Yeah,
and everything. It just,
and then ones that were flying and all that used, was it just the fact that video is so hard to do with that distance and keeping it steady and, I mean, that was what I was worried about, is like, I gotta get my gimbal out, you gotta get, how do you get?
yeah, it didn't have my gimbal and everything and, when I'm at places and I don't have the gimbal with me, which I could have taken there if I wanted, but I didn't, but just use that technique where I just take my camera strap and push out as far as I can and hold it tight and then just try to be,
So no tripod.
no tripod.
Fantastic.
So
Todd, what was your camera?
it's a Canon 90D
What were you processing for? How were you?
Da Vinci.
Yeah. So could you have put, the jet or the airplane sound, with the music?
I could have.
I've never heard a jet sound that's too loud. I missed the air show. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's fun and the other thing is it's free. So interesting to see all the different planes and right, wrong or indifferent, I kind of tend to do my videos and I'll pick music I want for it and then I'll make the video fit within it. So I mean, there was a lot more to show and see there and everything, but I just wanted to keep it into that soundtrack. All right, and now we have one from John.
So, I went to the, Chevy show. You wait, could you hold on it?
Yeah, I was just queuing it
I
out.
want to say something. So I broke every rule because I'm always saying, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. So I broke every rule. I went with my phone and I put it on single take, so it would do everything by itself. And I came home and I just put it in a blender and made a blender video and spent like less than an hour on it. And so I'm gonna put that up and I want you to just say everything, tell me that everything that's wrong with it. That's why I'm here today.
What was the show, John?
It was called Chevy Showdown. It was Chevy show at the Desert Diamond Casino. Just cars, Chevy cars.
Well,
I like
that was just 2 days ago, right?
Yeah,
Well, blender.
it's a blender. Yeah, I just threw it in iMovie and
What was
And
how did you determine the length of this one?
I didn't determine anything. I paid no attention to any rules, any production. Single take on the camera, it gives you a bunch of things. It makes videos and it makes all kinds of things. And so I looked at that and I just downloaded them and threw them in here. And that's what this is.
We love it.
So does it add music into it?
What I did on a Mac, there's a Garage Band. And I typed in music in Finder, and it came up with a list of all these things. I picked one, and it's a loop, and it just loops all the way through it. Fortunately, it's short. So I use none of my production skills whatsoever. I let the technology do everything.
All right.
Where's Gene when you need him?
Yeah, I was hoping he was gonna be here. Taking a bird in there.
Yeah, well, what kind of?
It's a house, no, it wasn't there. The house fish recorded in 1951 from a Macaulay.
I knew you did.
So does that program, so were they all stills and then?
No, I just walked around with my camera and I just broke all the rules and I just had my camera and I just walked around and took pictures of things and pressed record and then came home and downloaded it and threw it all into a thing.
But there appeared to be a Cadillac in that picture.
Yes.
As I say, I broke,
You spotted that.
as I say, I broke all the rules.
I would love to see another version of how you would create it.
Oh, I'm gonna do that actually, because the reason I went was that I was hanging out with some friends who were playing music and a guy wrote a song called Big Cars. And so next time I see him, which will be next Wednesday, I'm gonna videotape him singing Big Cars. And I actually got a lot of pictures of wide angle pictures of the insides of these big old Chevys. And so I'm gonna put something together that I, for myself and for him, a music video for him.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I didn't like this at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was one thing that caught my attention and it went by so fast that.
Who would answer?
Now the reflection on one of the long cars, it was a kind of a coppery beige background. And there was a reflection. But I couldn't even tell you what it was a reflection of because it went by so fast.
Them taking the picture.
Yeah, big. I was just walking by the car when I came with my phone.
Well, that was too bad. Pacing was terrible.
Did it speed up your video at all?
Yeah, it takes to your videos and that's one of the things it does is it gives you a sped up version. When I saw that, I never thought of that. I saw that and I said, oh, good. When I got home, I just threw them. That's what I grabbed. I grabbed all those things and just threw them, blended them.
I liked it.
So John, yeah,
Another 30 seconds.
Thing rambling.
I thought it was good.
Room is all down.
John,
You actually notice how the guys are over there. All the women are over there.
Hey, it's cars, we're good with it.
Cars and planes, right?
Absolutely.
John, what application did you throw that into?
iMovie.
What part of iMovie? Because I've never seen anything like that.
And movie on your phone, right?
No, on my computer, on my Mac.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
come.
there's a new feature on iMovie called Magic something. Is that where you put it?
No,
No?
And a trailer. Use the movie one.
use the movie, yeah. It made all these little sped up videos. And I just grabbed one, grabbed the next one, grabbed the next one, grabbed the next one. And took that little loop of sound and just repeated it down the end and put the joke in the end for Royce and we're good to go.
Go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. curious to know how that was done, although I don't think I'd ever do it.
Grace didn't care for it. Grace didn't care for it.
It was too fast.
Kind of sounds like one we don't want to post on our Facebook page.
Right, any other comments? Well, our time's up for today and everything, so thank everyone for coming, and Patty has something?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad that, this is my friend Meg Dornfeld, she's a photography club member. Meg and I just got back from Guatemala, and we did a baby's breath project that Meg's been involved for years. I just went as a translator, and they're teaching midwives, nurses, and firefighters in the outskirts of Guatemala City on how to help babies breathe when they're, or help.
How to recognize that a baby's not breathing at birth and to either stimulate or give a baby a breath with a bag and mask within the first minute of life.
And having seen how successful the Equine Voices video was that you all helped with, and Kevin, we thought that we would do the same concept with the week we spent down there teaching this class. I tell you what, I think it was wonderful that we came because we just got a ton of good ideas right now without, we're just in the very beginning phase of getting this video together. And the reason we are here is for help, assistance, and advice on how best. It is as a fundraiser and an educational piece to show people exactly what it is that Baby Breath Project does, and the amount of people that it helps. So that's why we're here.
So you're gonna make a few videos?
Well, and we might end up making more than just the one video.
I mean, there's different focuses. But I mean, you can focus on the fact that midwives and giving them the empowerment to be able to take a class and actually do something medical. You can also focus on the fact that mortality in third world countries is a big problem. There's a lot of different focuses.
I was gonna say the
It's
mortality.
just like we hear frequently, it's just, know your audience,
Correct.
who you're, because the one for a fundraiser will be different than the one, to teaching people how to do.
Yeah, this wouldn't be, this one wouldn't be how to teach people. This would just be, showing what we do in a third world country. So, for people that sometimes can't even read and write. So.
Great title.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, great. What a great title.
The Baby's Breath Project. Okay.
Don't drift away from that.
Okay. Well, the program that we teach though is from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the World Health Organization. That's called Helping Babies Breathe. So we've got two different things right there. But
Too bureaucratic.
so, okay.
One subtitle.
All right, well, thank everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And
Thank you, God.
hopefully Kevin will be back next week to take over. It'll be a much smoother program. Thank you all in Zoom land. Thank you.